Hey again, I'm Rahena, and we are playing more of Gakuen Heaven 2. This is the beginning of Sonoda's route, and we are at Bar Sonoda with Professor Sakaki, Sonoda, and Yuki. Going to continue from here. And last time we made the quote-unquote wrong choice here at this decision point where you could ask, are you two dating? Or the correct answer is, what is your relationship? So I'm going to go ahead and do the right answer now because there's more information in there, and it is the correct choice. You get more information about Sonoda by playing it this way.
お二人ってどういう関係なんですか?
So, what's your relationship?
どういう関係って、俺と先生のこと?
What kind of relationship? You mean me and the professor?
はい。
Yeah.
二人ともただの先生と生徒ってよりももっと近しい感じがしたので。
You seem a little closer than just teacher and student.
だからどういう関係なのかなと思って。
So I was wondering what kind of relationship you have.
へえ、なかなか鋭い観察眼だな。
Oh, wow, you're pretty perceptive.
そうですか?
Really?
確かに。俺たちは他人同士じゃない。
Well, it's true that we're not strangers.
他人同士じゃない? っていうことは恋人同士とか?
Not strangers? Does that mean like you're lovers or something? So no matter which choice you make, Yuki will make this very odd assumption. And I wanted to mention that that's kind of interesting because, at least in my experience, and this has happened with me and other people too that I've been friends with, that when people notice that I seem to have some sort of intimate relationship with someone, and it doesn't have to be anything. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be, me and my wife, but people used to ask me, are you two sisters? If I'm hanging out with another woman and it looks like we're really close, especially if we're really close in age. And it's kind of interesting that it seems that, at least in my experience, that the default assumption of two people of the same sex who are getting along very well, and you see that they have a good relationship, is, oh, they must be sisters or something. I mean, that's always what people have said to me. So it's a little interesting that Yuki is assuming that they're a couple, which has never happened to me. I mean, I guess people must assume that we're a couple. I mean, it's kind of obvious. But if someone's trying to be quote-unquote polite or whatever, they'll always ask, are you two sisters? And I'm like, dude, we're not even the same race, right? So it's kind of interesting. So I just thought it was an odd contrast that instead of making that assumption, Yuki makes the opposite assumption.
なんでそういう発想になるかな?
Why are you imagining that?
言葉の通り、そのままの意味だって。
I meant just what I
俺たち
said.
は義理のいとこ同士なんだ。
We're step cousins.
いとこ?
もともとは他人なんだけどさ。あれはいつ頃だったっけ?
Yeah, we were originally strangers. How long has it been since then?
お前が中二の時だな。
Since you were in the second year of middle school. So this part is a little bit of a repeat.
その頃に先生の父親の弟と俺の母親が再婚したんだ。
That's right. When I was in the second year of middle school, my mother remarried the professor's father's younger brother. It's really confusing. It's almost like that scene from the end of Spaceballs. This guy was my cousin something's father's brother's former roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing. Except they are something. So, in short, Sonoda's parents divorced. His mother remarried Sakaki's uncle.
そうだったんですか.
So that's it.
あまり人には言っていないけど。
Well, we don't really tell people.
学業でひいきされてると思われたくないからさ。
We don't want them to think I'm being favored in school.
頼まれたってそんなことしないぞ.
Even if you asked me to, I wouldn't. So also interesting here, in the previous one, if you ask, are you two dating, Sakaki will kind of hint that, oh, well, if Sonoda had asked him, he might consider it. Here, he just flat out says he won't do it. Well, it's true that the professor seems too strict to favor family. But I see, so that's why they're so close.
ところで、なぜお前は俺たちの関係が気になったんだ？
By the way, why are you interested in our relationship?
園田に気があったのか？
Are you interested in Sonoda?
違いますって。
No, I'm not. What are you saying, Professor? I'm so embarrassed I can't look at Sonoda's face.
よかったな、朝比奈。園田は今フリーだぞ。
Oh, you're in luck, Asahina. Sonoda's free right now.
へえ、ユウキくん。俺のこと好きなんだ。
Wow, Yuki, do you like me?
だから違いますって。
No.
恥ずかしがらなくていいって。教師のお墨付きだし。なんなら付き合ってみようか？
You don't have to be embarrassed. It has the professor's seal of approval, so if you like, we could try going out.
その代わり、いくらくれる？
So, how much will you give me for it?
お金？
Money?
側近が無理ならローンでもいいよ。
If you don't have any money, you could get a loan.
それもただの援助交際じゃないですか。
Isn't that just compensated dating? So the question is, has Sonoda done this before? Have someone pay to go on a date with him? Makes you wonder what else Sonoda will do for money. How far has he gone?
学生の規範内で学業に影響が出なければ。
Well, as long as it doesn't affect your schoolwork and it's within the student
同
rules.
性だろうが何だろうが恋愛の形は否定しないが。
Whether you're the same gender or not, I won't deny your love.
やっぱりこいつはやめておけ。
But after all, you should give up on him.
こいつに関わるとお前が痛い目を見るぞ。
If you get involved with him, you'll get hurt.
それってどういう意味ですか？
What's that supposed to mean?
園田ほど面倒な奴はいないからな。
There's no one as annoying as Sonoda. And you can just see the very playful relationship between these two here. They're just going to snark back and forth at each other for the rest of this scene. I mean, Sakaki does not seem like the kind of person that you would assume would go around calling anyone annoying and just going on and on teasing him like this.
ひどい言われようだな。
That's a mean way of putting it.
忘れたのか？以前失恋したお前を慰めるのがどれだけ大変だったか。
Well, have you forgotten? How hard was it for me to console you in your broken heart before?
失恋？園田さんがですか？
A broken heart? Sonoda?
ああ、手がつけられないほど大声でワンワン泣いてな。
Yeah, he was crying wah wah loud and out of control. So there's an interesting point. There's something has happened in the past where they have discussed some sort of serious thing that upset Sonoda.
あのさ、誤解を生むような言い方はやめてくれないかな。
And Sonoda's not happy about him bringing this up. Now, see here, won't you stop talking in a way that causes misunderstandings?
だいたいあれ失恋じゃないし。
Anyway, that was not a broken heart.
なんでそういう話になるかな。
Why are we talking about this? Oh, he's gotten really annoyed.
たく。
Jeez.
はい、これ口直し。
Anyway, here's a palate cleanser.
何ですかこれ？
What is this?
俺のサービス。サービスっていうか、試作品の味見みたいなもんだけど。
It's a freebie from me, and I say it's a freebie, but it's actually a trial product that I want to taste test.
新作のアスパラガスのポタージュ。
It's an asparagus potage. And this is an actual thing. When you play to the end of the day, Sonoda will actually send you the recipe for that. And I think I'll include that in this video, so I'll talk a little bit more about it then. But I just want to let you know that yes, you can make this soup from this recipe, and it is very, very good. So I will give you the details about that.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you. Is Sonoda being considerate of me?
どう？
How is it?
すごく美味しいです。食べた中で一番美味しいかも。
It's really delicious. It might even be the most delicious thing out of everything I've eaten today.
口に含んだ瞬間、アスパラガスとジャガイモの香りが広がって。
And the moment I put it in my mouth, the flavor of the asparagus and potatoes spreads out.
その奥から何とも言えない濃厚な甘さと爽やかさがふわっと。
And amid that, there's a thick sweetness and a refreshing lightness. So just another note here, because this is Sonoda's route, we are going to have to put up with lots and lots of food critic Yuki going on and on about all sorts of different things. Sonoda's training is mainly in French cooking, and this is actually a French dish also. And he will just talk about all sorts of different things, so kind of a nice little crash course in cooking, if you're interested in that. I like to cook, so I really like that a lot of detail about the cooking is included in the story, as well as all the really nice, interesting, fun, sad things that happen in Sonoda's story. But yes, Yuki will describe everything he eats in loving detail, because that's how he is.
よかった。これなら学食に出せそうだ。
Well, I'm glad. In that case, I think I could put this in the cafeteria.
ちなみに、その甘みはポロネギ。ラストに香るのはレモンオイル。
The sweetness was from leeks, and the last flavor was lemon oil.
やっぱり園田さん天才です。
You really are a genius.
まあ、当然だけどさ。
Well, of course.
ちなみに、先生の分はないから。
And there's none left for the professor.
ひどいな。
Well, that's mean.
あ、残しておけばよかったですね。美味しくて全部食べちゃった。
Oh, I wish I'd left some. It was so delicious, I ate it all.
気にしなくていいって。適当なことを言った先生が悪いんだからさ。
You don't have to worry about it. It was the professor's fault for saying random things. Oh, thank goodness he's smiling again. It looks like he's regained his good mood.
園田、いい機会だから朝比奈に友達になってもらったらどうだ。
And this is the part where it meets up. So whichever choice you make back there, are you dating or what's your relationship, it all will eventually come back to this exact line. So you don't have to worry about missing the end of the scene. The end of the scene stays the same no matter what you choose. And this is the beginning of the rest of the scene. And he's saying, Sonoda, this is a good opportunity. Why not become friends with Asahina?
はあ
Huh?
こいつは確かにめんどくさいが、お前も生徒会長なんて面倒なものを引き受けるくらいだ。
And now he's addressing Yuki. Sonoda's annoying, but you've already accepted annoying things like being the student council president.
このくらい大したことないだろ
So this much won't be a hassle.
あのさ、人を残務処理みたいに扱わないでくれる
Hey, don't treat people like you're trying to dispose of them, like push them off or dump them off on someone else.
う。悪い話じゃないじゃないか。お前友達少ないんだろ
But it's not a bad idea. You don't have many friends.
うるさいな。学園の外では結構人気者だって言ったろ
Shut up. I told you I'm really popular outside of school, and you can see just how they're so casual with each other.
そういう先生はどうなんですか
And here we go. What about you?
わざわざ教員寮に住んでまで俺の料理で晩酌するんじゃなくて
You shouldn't be living in the staff dorm and staying in with my cooking.
彼女に手料理でも作ってもらうとか外の店で食事しながらナンパするとかしてきたらどうかってこと
How about having a girlfriend make you some home cooking or eating at another restaurant so you can pick up women?
何を言う。こんなにうまい酒と俺好みの料理を出す店なんてそうそう見つかるもんじゃない。
What are you saying? It's not that easy to find a restaurant with such delicious sake and that has food that suits me, to my liking.
しかもこの値段でだ。
And at this price.
それはそうだけどさそれなりの給料もらってるんだから婚活でもしなって
That may be true, but you make a good enough salary, so you should be out looking for a marriage partner. I'm not really sure why Sonoda is so pushy about this. I think... well, how much can I say? Because they know each other pretty well, they understand each other's circumstances, I think. Even though Sonoda is much younger, I think he's kind of wise to this situation, because it's a bit similar to his. And frankly, he knows that Sakaki is a lonely person, and we will find out more about that as we continue on with this game. But that's all I'll say for now.
うるさい。酌しろ。
Shut up, serve the sake.
まったく人使いの荒い教師だな
Geez, you are such a slave driver teacher.
ゆうきくん追加で何か食べる
Yuki, do you want to eat anything else?
いいんですか
Is it okay?
いいいい
It's fine,
今
it's
夜は
fine.
榊先生のおごりって言ったろ
Oh, I told you, tonight's on Professor Sakaki.
ああ、じゃあ天ぷらとステーキとそれからとんかつも。
Well, then I want tempura and steak and tonkatsu. Man, I want tonkatsu. Kind of jealous.
よくそんなに食えるな。
I'm surprised you can eat all of that. And you can see just as the scene goes on, Sakaki's getting a little more buzzed. His speech is getting a little messier, and he's becoming more and more informal.
あ、もう少し遠慮した方がいいですか？
Maybe I should have a little more restraint then.
構わん。子
I don't
供が
mind.
食事の席で大人の顔色を伺うもんじゃない。
And children shouldn't be reading adults' expressions at the dinner table.
覗いていいのはおちょこの中だけだ。
The only thing you should be peeking at is what's inside the sake cup.
おちょこの中？
In the cup?
開いたら酌をする。
So when it's empty, you can pour.
あ、はい、お酌させていただきます。
Oh, well, allow me to fill your cup.
ゆうきくん、従わなくていいって。寂しく手酌させときなよ。
You don't have to do what he says. Let him be lonely and fill his own cup.
可愛い後輩を取られて悔しいのか。
Are you annoyed that your cute underclassman is interested in me? Keep that in mind for later.
残念でした。すでに彼は俺の料理の虜だっての。だろ、ゆうきくん。
Too bad. He's already a slave to my cooking. Right, Yuki?
はい。
Which is true. Yes, he is.
その料理をお前におごってるのは俺だからな。
Well, I'm the one who's treating you to that cooking.
はい。
Oh, yes. Yeah, well, it's like a dream. I'm so happy I was able to eat delicious food. But Sonoda and Professor Sakaki normally seem really hard to get close to. Very standoffish, both of them. Sonoda for reasons we will discover soon, and Sakaki for reasons we will find out not quite so soon, but soon enough. But I'm glad that I was allowed to be part of the nice time with the two of them like this. Because of their positions, they can't be nice to me, but I realize now that they're not bad people. Obviously, Sonoda, with his relationship with Duroc, can't allow Yuki to eat in the cafeteria, even though he really wants him to, because he knows that Yuki appreciates his skill. And Sakaki, because he's a member of the staff and can't favor students, not even Sonoda, who is his cousin. And someone who can make such delicious food, and someone who likes that delicious food, they can't be bad people. I want to eat like this again, and not in secret. Even though I'm the student council president, because at this point he can't eat at the cafeteria. And for that, I'll do my best for another day. And that ends the scene. We'll go back to Yuki's room now.
ただいま。
I'm back.
なかなか有意義な一日だった。
Yeah, that was a really meaningful day.
あれ、メールだ。
Here's the email.
今日君が美味しいって言ってくれ。
あれ本当に美味しかったな。もう一回味わいたいよ。
And I cut that off because it's just Sonoda reading the recipe in the email and it gets kind of long. And I'd rather explain it here. So his email said, today I'm going to teach you how to make the new dish that you said was delicious. And what follows is the recipe. And it's not a detailed recipe. It's kind of meant for a cook that is used to winging it, just kind of doing stuff. But I've made this recipe a couple of times, and I'm going to put a link to my post on Tumblr where I talked about it, where I have a picture of it, and I talk about the exact amounts of the ingredients I used in the recipe. So if you're interested in trying this soup, it's really good. I highly recommend it. Yeah, but just for now, I'm going to give what Sonoda said in his email, which is pretty vague. So step 1 is you peel and cut asparagus, leek, and potato. Step 2, you fry the leek in butter. You add the potato, and you fry it until it's translucent. Then you add enough water to cover all of that. Then you boil the asparagus in water with a little bit of salt added into it. Then you take step 2 off the flame, and you add the boiled asparagus and a bouquet garni. which is a bundle of various herbs. Not exactly sure everything that's in it, probably thyme, oregano, rosemary, all that kind of stuff. If you do a search, you can find that. Or if you don't have fresh herbs, you can get a bouquet garni kind of herb mix. A place like Penzies would sell it. I don't know if you'd be able to find it at just a general store. It's kind of a specialty item. But after you take that off the flame, you put in the boiled asparagus, the bouquet garni, and you stir and add heavy cream, butter, salt, and pepper to taste, and then you simmer it. Once it's simmered, you remove the bouquet garni, you put the soup in a bowl, and you finish it with lemon oil. So I know that doesn't explain exactly how much you use of everything, but just check out my link if you're interested in that. It'll give you all the details of exactly how I made it, kind of the proportions and how much you use of this and how long I cooked the different steps in order to achieve the results that are mentioned here. And it was very good, very good. I've made it twice since, maybe just a couple weeks ago. Definitely something I will be adding to my rotation of recipes that I cook. And it's not a tough recipe. Yuki's saying it was really delicious and I want to taste it again.
学食なメニューになっても俺は食べられないのか。
But even if it's added to the cafeteria menu, I won't be able to eat it. Can I really make this recipe myself? No, it's impossible. It's not impossible. It's really not a hard recipe. You can do it. But it was a nice memory, so I'll add it to my mental taste album. And I have absolutely no doubt that he has one. Well then.
来週もいいことありますように。
May good things happen next week, too.
おやすみなさい。
Good night. And that's the end of the day, so that is the first major scene involving Sonoda. You get nice insight into Sonoda and his thoughts on cooking. You also find out about his relationship with Sakaki, because it seemed kind of weird, him being a representative of the board, being on the side of the board. Why would a student be acting almost as a proxy for the professor? And now we see how they are related to each other. Had a bit of fun getting teased, watching Sakaki drink probably a little too much, Yuki eat a little too much, and Sonoda and Sakaki snarking back and forth at each other. So it really helps to get the player to feel a little more sympathetic toward characters that you may not be sympathetic toward, especially if you're coming straight into this after playing Joker, which I think the game really pushes you into, because you find out about Sonoda at the end of Joker's route. And Joker pretty much flat out tells you, hey, you've unlocked Sonoda. Why don't you go, ask him about all his circumstances and things like that. So I think it's only natural that the player would just jump right in and go for it. So I think it's important to soften up your perceptions of these two characters, because as always in this game, people are not what they seem. There are just layers upon layers of reasons for why things happen, and it's important to keep an open mind about that and not get sucked into the temptation to dislike someone because of partial information that we have from other character roots. So just hang in there. We will do more with Sonoda, and we'll learn more about the professor as well. So I hope you enjoyed this bar Sonoda scene, and I'll wrap it up here and continue next time. Thanks for watching!